Hello everyone, and this video is an introduction to ProMonitor, which is an ILP system used to record student progress and record any concerns and the outcomes of meetings with the students. It's also used to record which students are at risk and also which may require further support or benefit from interventions to help ensure that they're meeting their learning objectives. So you know who just needs sort of differentiated outcomes and who needs potentially additional care, and so keep an eye on students, especially maybe if they are at risk and they don't attend, then perhaps somebody needs to know to ensure they're okay. Um, so where staff who interact with students are consistently using the system, then all the information is kind of in one place, and people should be keeping it up to date with concerns. And also, students may have allergies, for example, and then that can be recorded as well to ensure that, I suppose, if anything happens, then you're aware of what support might be needed quickly from that system, which all curriculum staff should be using. Students then can also view their progress, such as the mark book, info portal, which is their view of ProMonitor, and it can also be used. If they're given access by parents and employers as well to view the system, and you can control what can be accessed by each type of user. So for example, you may not want employers to see potentially, I mean, maybe the risks and some of the more personal information, unless that is maybe pertinent to what the student's doing, maybe healthcare settings, etc. So the comments as well can be added about students, and again, it's then all in one place, and it is also emailed out to people so that they've got that in their email, but it's also centrally viewable via the web pages, and there's the confidential comments, which should be used for anything such as if it's quite sensitive, maybe issues at home, for example, which you wouldn't want all staff seeing, and the confidential comments are more restricted. So if we go to the system, um, the system is I should have gone to that first, shouldn't I? So here's the homepage of ProMonitor, where the so this is the starting point when you first go to the system. If you are a teacher, then your teaching groups, if you go to my student groups, then your group should be there on the left of the screen. So you can just go there, expand my student groups, click on the group, and then you're straight into your student group with your students. And if you teach different groups, then all the groups should appear on the left, on the left side of the screen, where each one is essentially a class that you work with. So this gives you so actually, if you go back to the home page, if for example you have those students where there are at-risk students, they are shown here: high risk, low risk, no risk. I don't have anybody because I've only got test students assigned to me, but you can see meetings that are due and coming up, and you can also see any comments. So it's a nice overview of the system from a kind of like an introductory portal, so you can see kind of what needs to be actions soon, and confidential comments show there as well. So you can customize that screen also as well. If you up here, you can say add controls. You can add one to the left zone, but I think everything's already visible. But if you press add, um, I think they show up here, but there's nothing because everything's available. If you took something off, you could then add it again. I think so. If I take that off, and then I want to add a control, I can add assessments now to the left zone, and it puts it and it's put it back there at the top. So that's the home page, and then so if we go back to the student group for a second, so that shows there because if you're a lecturer for a group, then the group should be there on the left. If you don't teach the group normally, as you're covering a lesson, you can find the group by searching. Or if you do teach the group and it's not there, then you should really speak to the MAS department so that they will add because it means probably your register's not set up right. If it's the start of the year, because it's now September, so it's beginning of term, so it may be that it's taking time to set that up. But it's still worth asking the question to find out and making sure that the data's accurate. So on the left side of the screen, if you don't have a student group there and you want to find your student group, or you're covering a lesson for somebody else, or you're wanting to look into an issue with a student, you need to find the student. If you go to search, then you can search by student or by student groups and other parts of the system. But if you go to the student group, this is called Test 123, because it's a test course. And those students are not real, they're just test students. So if you do test 123, and it comes up there, search for that. And then it comes up with the student group, go to the student group, and then that's how you would find it. And if you didn't have it already, so if I remove that from my list of student groups, if you go to a course, a student group, and you want to put it on your screen, save it like a bookmark, you can press add yourself up here. But the overnight imports would take you off that tomorrow if you weren't down to teach the group. But at least it keeps it there for that day if you're covering that lesson, for example, just for the day. Um, so that covers that one. And then if ever you're not quite sure where you are in the system, because there's lots of pages and screens and everything, and you want to get back to the beginning portal, you can click on the logo with a little house at the top of the screen, and that should take you back to the except it's not doing that usually takes you back to the starting point. Let's go back to the okay, that doesn't actually, but if you press home at the top up here, then that takes you home. So at the very top menu on the left, above the other options, as well, if you've got all these expanded, you may find that you need to scroll up a bit, depending which area of the system you're in. So anyway, I'll go back to there again. So I think that covers the introduction to the system, and the other videos will go into more detail about how to set up markbooks and configure the student group types. Hope this was useful, and please watch the other videos.